friends, thank you for joining me for another edition of Pick a Card. My name is Griselle and I'm with Psychic MD, and I'm here to do your Why Are We in Separation video. So this is going to be pick a card style, and we want to find out what your significant other, your other half, has to tell you. Even if this is just someone that you've been thinking about from a long time ago and you're happily partnered or happily married or whatever the case may be, as that can happen sometimes. So whoever you have on the top of your mind as of right now, we're going to go through and choose card 1, 2, 3, or 4. So take a look at them closely and see what calls to you. On the first one, I have got the cat, the black cat specifically. On the second one, I have eternal love. Pile number 3, I've got the owl. And pile number 4, we've got the death card. And don't get scared, because it doesn't mean what people usually think it means. All right, so be thinking about those things, what draws your attention. And now that I organize them all where they should be or how they should be, I'm going to go ahead and move them out of the way so we have room to play. So we're going to start with the black cat, for those of you that chose the black cat. Let's see if I can move my camera so you get the scope of this kitty cat. All right, so pile number 1 that chose the black cat. First of all, I just want to say that if you're in separation right now, which is the whole point of this video, your person still watches you. They want to blend in with their surroundings. They don't want it known that they watch you, but they definitely watch you. I feel like they're also studying you, because this kitty cat is sitting on a stack of books. So they're definitely studying, looking, seeing what information they can gain from just basically watching your social media. And you know, you can actually semi-stalk people on Amazon as well. I'm not going to give tips and tricks on how to do it, but they could be watching what you purchase, things like that. Not because they're interested in what you're buying, but they just want to be close to you and they want to remain unseen. There's a lot of smoke. I feel like there's some smoldering with this, like they look at you with some desire, a lot of desire. Why else would they be like just staring at you, basically? And black cat, fortune meets opportunity. And so in different cultures, black cats are really perceived as, you know, having a bad name. Just for example, in America, we tend to think, oh, don't let the black cat cross the road in front of you because it's a bad omen. But if we go to Japan or other places, they're considered very lucky. I think Britain is one of them. But anyways, that's the whole point about perspective, is just knowing that perspective can change as well. Now, what I want to point out is I see 2 candles right here that really are so identical. I'm going to have to even show you. They're out of the picture, so I didn't light them up this time. But I have 2 of them nearly identical, and actually these are not lit either. That's kind of interesting. And so it just seems like a kind of confirmation that this person's out of the picture. They don't want to be seen as watching you. Okay, so let's find out a little bit more about what's going on for pile number 1. So if in separation, oh, good grief, you're already jumping. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and take, oh my gosh, okay, you're already talking. Excellent. So we're in separation, and I'd like to know what's going through pile number 1's person, their beloved. Why is there separation here? Okay, and these cards all jumped out. So I'm going to tell you, first card that jumped out is the Ten of Pentacles. And I feel like this person may have a family with someone else. This person, and you may have a family elsewhere as well. But this person, for whatever reason, chose a different way of life, or you chose to separate from them. That's when you're in separation. But what I'm getting is that they're like, they want to manifest something totally different than what they have right now. Yes, they have a family. Yes, they love their family. They might even love their wife or love their husband or their significant other. But I feel like they feel kind of buried under the burden of family ship. That's not even a word, right? But I'm making stuff up, words up as we go. And so what I mean by that is that they really want to transform. They want to become this beautiful butterfly, but they feel like their feet are stuck. They're grounded, right? And in tandem to that, the Hierophant just jumped out as well. And so I feel like this person that you're in separation with is really, they're committed, but their heart's committed to you. And I don't usually say that at all, but what I'm seeing is his face is actually really hidden by all of it looks like a little bit, right? But he's actually really in disguise. You can't see his head at all because it's hidden as well by the sombrero, and he's got the Ouija board, so he's trying to get in touch with like spirits or another world. He wants to leave the world that he's in, the tangible world where, yeah, things are, they're okay for all outside appearances' sake, but his heart is elsewhere. And so I feel like, yeah, while he or she loves their family, and they don't feel like they are able to leave or have a real reason to leave. Their thoughts are really stuck on you. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why, because this card jumped out. I got really hot. Well, yeah, it is a double card. So this person could be a Capricorn, or they could just have a lot of Capricorn traits. I feel like they just have a song in their heart for you that has never quite let up. If you notice the two candles referenced here earlier that are extinguished, they're just doing everything in the silence of the night, like behind closed doors. They're not letting people know that they're checking up on you and they really would love to talk to you, but they have just a different life. They don't feel like there's a way that they could really cross that bridge any longer. But they remember the good times, and they just really would love to, it sounds kind of corny, but they would love to even sing to you. Maybe singing was something that you guys did together, or they would just kind of sing you silly songs back in the day. If the message fits, that is great. If it doesn't, that's fine too. Now, I want to say about this as well is that there is an era of obsession, okay? So definitely feel like this person is obsessively watching, obsessively researching in the middle of the night, behind the scenes, behind the family that they're currently committed to. And that's what I'm getting. A lot of like nighttime searches, like internet searches and things like that. So why is this person just riveted by those that are choosing pile number 1, please? Okay, I'm going to grab that. Why is this person watching pile number 1 so much? Why is this person? Thank you. Oh my gosh, a ton of cards just came out. So I'm taking them all, and we're going to start here. Oh my goodness. Okay, so the Tower card. So the Tower card came out, but as you saw, it's reversed. And they don't want this to end, like this thing that transpired with you. They just don't want anything to end. They want to remain with that connection. They want to stay connected to you, and that's why they are watching. They just don't want that separation. Even though you guys, it may have been years and years that you're separated, or months, or whatever the case may be. I feel like the scent of you lingers. I feel like they can't forget how you smell. They can't forget how you taste, how they felt light, how they felt like things were just beautiful when you were together. They're reminiscing, okay? And you ask, like, why did things turn out the way they did? Well, we're going to find out a little bit more about that, but they definitely burn with passion when they're being intimate with our current partner. I feel like they're thinking about you. And I know some of y'all don't want to hear that, but there we went. We also have the Ace of Voices right here. And in this deck, the Voices really talks about getting that clarity. They want clarity, but they want to do it in super stealth mode, like night mode. And they see how much you've grown. They see how beautiful you are. They see that you even have different shades of yourself that they never even met before. These are the ones that jumped out. I'm still taking them. But they want to get to know, it's almost like a new version of you that they don't know. And obviously they're not going to know who you are without them. They would love to know who you are without them, but it seems like you've really grown so much that they don't really understand who you are anymore. And that is not at all a bad thing. I think that you have reached a lot of clarity, a lot of wisdom, but they want to come in here again, just like being an owl, just kind of checking you out without you knowing that you're being observed, okay? And they definitely see all the changes. Maybe you travel a lot, maybe you write blogs or for a magazine, or post things on your social media accounts and things like that. And they have seen the changes that you have undergone, and even all the travel that you've done. Maybe you're all about the I call it like the van life. I don't know your life, but maybe you just packed up and you just decided you were going to go for it, and that's your life now. So, Queen of Voices. And so you're definitely somebody who will cut out anything that hinders. You have grown to be just somebody who is incredibly beautiful. You could be super mysterious to them. I feel like they're a bit afraid of your wrath, okay? I heard The Grapes of Wrath. Know if you guys have read that book or seen the movie. Excellent movie. I also feel like... there's no wrath like a woman scorned. So maybe they did something to you that you felt scorned, and that's why you guys are in separation, and you got he got in a different relationship, or they did, she did. Same sex. We're not reading sex at all in this reading, but I want to say that they're really afraid of what you have to say. They know that you are very deep, mysterious, and that your tongue can bite. That, make no mistake about it. Even though you look and appear like very sweet and gorgeous and beautiful, they know that you even have the pyramid, like you're connected to a higher power. But you yourself are like a full mystery right now, and they don't really understand you. You know, it's kind of interesting how things happen like that. But let's move on. The Four of Emotions. I feel like, okay, what they have right now is they don't really want it. And it's not like they're going to be leaving their family or anything like that, but I feel like, you know, these 3 cups are void of color. This is like when you guys were together and everything else. They have a 4th cup now. And now all of those 4 cups didn't create the life that they thought they wanted. I feel like a connection to sacred geometry. For some of you, that's going to be true. For some of you guys, one of you is like a mathematician, teaches math, or is really good with numbers, is an accountant. It builds small things, okay? That's what I'm hearing, is little like miniatures. So one of you guys can be into building miniature things professionally. I don't feel like it's a hobby at all, but that's going to pertain to a couple of people out there. Now, I want to show you this one big cup that they're kind of like thinking about also. It was almost like they got in over their head, and now they don't want what they have, which is this commitment to this other person, okay? And that's not trying to create like false hope. Sometimes we get ourselves in situations and we are not going to get out of it. For example, like a family situation. It's just our emotions can say one thing, but our actions do something totally opposite. 8 of Emotions, so 8 of Cups. Yeah, so this person did walk away from you. They feel like even today, they still have to walk away and remember that all of this beautiful pink sand, it is just sand, and they walk back into an abyss. I feel like they're a bit in a dark place in their life right now. As far as, yeah, they have everything on the outside. They may have the family, they may have the kids, they may have the car, the house, the yacht, the, I don't know, summer home, but they're not happy or fulfilled. Otherwise, why are they watching you? Okay. So why, oh, okay, the separation. In the separation, I'd like to know a little bit about what happened. Okay. Five of Cups, and this one jumped out in reverse. I think my cards are kind of all upside down. So I feel like they have not given themselves a chance to really mourn your loss. Not that you obviously have passed away or anything, but it's an opportunity to really move with the phases of life and understand that you have closed that chapter. They have not closed this chapter at all, so they continue looking at you. Energetically, they're still very tied to you. So, okay, so what happened in this connection, please, for pile number one? Let's find out. Somebody could have come at you with really harsh words, really fast words. Give me the truth, nothing but the truth. I need it now. I will run you over. I'll bulldoze you over. Maybe they were just nasty with their words in general. And someone else said, you know what, this is not acceptable. And that's the end. But let's see. So what about, why is the Six of Swords here? For pile number one, why is the Six of Swords here? They could be in the military. Could have been in the military at the time. What is, I'm not, I said Six of Swords. Okay, Knight of Swords. Justice. So the Knight of Swords is here because they wanted to put things back in balance. They felt like things were not balanced in your connection. This could have been you demanding fairness, equality. I want things balanced, and they didn't give it to you, so you moved on. Or it could have been the other way around. I was just talking a minute ago about the Six of Swords, and that's all about moving away from one another or a situation. So one of you guys could have moved. You could have both moved from where you were at that point in life, like physical moves. Tell me more about this Knight of Swords for pile number one, please. Let's find out. Seven of Cups. Okay, so I feel like it was more you than them that came and just confronted and said, you know what, why are you treating me as an option? Am I an option or am I the real deal? What's going on here? I want fairness. I want equality. And in this case, the mind outweighed the heart. And in this case, it's like, you know what, I may feel a certain way, but I'm not going to sell myself cheaply. And if you don't treat me like a queen or a king, I'm not doing it. I'm just not doing it. And so your relationship ended. Now, I wasn't planning on taking another from this deck, but here we are. This one jumped out, and I've got the Empress, and it's sideways, and this is about like creating an abundance and having this beautiful home, and back and forth you went. And it was you or your partner at the time that you're in separation with. And so this, your partner could be saying, you know what, everything was so back and forth, I just couldn't contend with it. It didn't make sense, and I just couldn't do it anymore. Or you could have been saying, you know what, you treated me like an option. I wanted answers. I wanted fairness. What I wanted was to be an empress with you, to be by your side, but that just didn't happen. I saw that it wasn't going to be fair or equal, and so I had to move on. So however the story pertains to you, that's how you want to look at it, and that's how you want to use my readings. This is simply for validation. Okay, so the number 3 is cooperation. So you'd cooperate, then you wouldn't. They would cooperate, then they wouldn't. But bottom line, I do feel like somebody had too many choices, too many options, and the other person didn't feel like they were, I don't know, they were good enough or option enough, or they just didn't want this on the table, and so they said, no más, basta, finito. So let's find out a little bit about what your person in separation wants to say to you, because they're watching you for a reason. We're pulling out the juicy cards right now. What does this person want to say about my people in pile number 1? What do they want to tell you? Let's find out. So I had one jumper. Don't force me to love you or I'll run. That's exactly what we just talked about. You demanded fairness. Somebody demanded fairness, equality, and they just ran. They couldn't provide it for you. I'm resisting you. Yeah, so against their better judgment, they know that this is a connection that they've always wanted, and yet they couldn't at the time control it or have their cake and eat it too, and they lost out. And consequently, they're looking at the sidelines. They're looking at you. So what else does this person want you to know? Oh, here we go. This one wants to come out. Let's find out. You really got a hold on me. Okay. Starving, my soul hungers for you. So this person is definitely not over you, obviously. I mean, if you've got nothing else from this reading, they can't stay away from you. They can't stay not staring at you and thinking about you. Let's put this over here. So let's find out. I mean, I feel like more than anything that I'm getting is that they're in a connection right now, and that's why you don't hear from them. And that's exactly why they do not initiate. But let's ask, why is this person not initiating, please? Why are they not communicating? And here we go. We got the Five of Wands. So this person is conflicted, and they're not. Then they're fighting with themselves and everybody else, and then they're not. And back and forth we go. There's a lot of inner wrestling, outer wrestling, inner turmoil, outer turmoil. Good grief, I can't say that word. And so there's just a lot of like tug of war within themselves mostly. They just can't make up their minds. Why is this person not coming forward? That's in separation for pile number 1. Why are they not coming forward and expressing themselves? Let's find out. Okay, I'm taking 2. Ace of Hazards and Page of Swords. They want to stay within the shadows and basically spy. And Ace of Hazards. This is beginning all over again. Just putting a good foot forward and making a honest effort, or really solid go at things. So they'd rather like stay in the shadows than make a solid go at things because they have nothing to offer you at this point in time. I was not taking any more on these cards, but I flipped them. And the bottom of the deck, I have the Lovers, the number 6 right here. And so this is saying, you know what? I love you. You love me. This lady's a zombie. She's totally dead, but she has ripped his heart out. And so for all intents and purposes, like, you are dead to this person. In other words, I know you're not going to want to hear this, but you're not in their life at the moment because they have maybe a family to raise. They have a wife, kids. I don't know what the deal is, but they have never forgotten you. When you really actually have their heart, in spite of everything, in spite of them being the problem and they know it, you still have their heart, and they cannot get over that. They can't get over. And when it comes to late at night, they're constantly thinking about you. When they are with their partner, they just compare their partner to you. They just wish that they can just look at you deep in the eye, one-on-one, and just like breathe you in one more time. They can't let you go. And yeah, there's something about perfume, something about the way you smell. Your essence, that's what I'm getting. So that is what I have for you. And that is for pile number 1. And again, I don't feel like they're going to be reaching out anytime soon because they're in a situationship here. So that just sucks. But that's what I have for you. And I want to thank you so much. If this resonated, please do give me a thumbs up, give me a like, share, comment, subscribe. And hopefully I will see you for future readings. Thank you so much for joining. Namaste. Hi, pile number 2. Thank you for joining me. If you picked this pile, we are focused on this card, Eternal Love. It says, love is love is love. And it transcends physical death. So it's almost like your lover, your significant other, is just saying, no matter what, I still love you. In spite of how old the roots may have gotten, in spite of how much time passes, I can't forget you. And my heart is eternally committed to you. Our souls are tied together. But I'm interested to find out, why are we in separation, if this is true? That's always very perplexing to me, but we're going to find out. So why are we in separation? For those that are in pile number 2, let's find out. Oh my gosh, same identical card came out earlier. So the Knight of Swords, somebody who is harsh, rash with their tongue, wanting quick answers, quick solutions, acting hastily. They may not have all the facts. Back then, whenever you were together, they're willing to run over anybody and anything. If it got in their way, they would like bulldozer their way through. They could have been really militant in how they handled their relationship, how they handled themselves within the relationship. You could have been feeling like you were under the Inquisition at times, like you were under fire for sure. Somebody was under fire. Okay, so why is number 2 in separation, please? And why is the Knight of Swords here? Let's find out. The 10 of Cups. So once upon a time, there was a lot of happiness here, emotional fulfillment, contentment. Things could have been burning around you both, and you could have just not cared one whit. It was emotionally fulfilling, emotionally gratifying. Perhaps some of you have children or a family by this person, but you're no longer together. You're in separation. I feel like perhaps it could have been that one of you felt like you were drowning and the other one just didn't notice. They were just enjoying life. I heard right now that one of you had postpartum depression and your partner couldn't understand or get with the program, and they came across very harsh with you. And if that's true, I'm really sorry. I definitely feel like they have learned too little too late, I know. I'm also hearing Tainted Love by Marilyn Manson, the remake. I love that song. That's going to pertain to some of you if you know the lyrics. Tainted Love. 10 of Cups. Why is this here for my friends, for pile number 2 that are in separation? Show me now. Yeah. Okay. So there could have been a child involved from another marriage, or they could have been acting immature themselves. And this child wasn't very pleasant to be around. Child could have been narcissistic, had problems with ADD, ADHD. Those are not synonymous for each other by a long shot, so please don't get it mixed up. That's definitely not what I'm saying. I feel like this person could have had habits that just entertained, like the monsters in their mind made them behave in a certain way with you, even though you guys had a lot of happy times and felt like you were each other's family. Perhaps their fears got the best of them and it made them act like they were all suspicious. They could have been paranoid delusional. They could have had mental health issues as well and really projected a lot of problems onto you. Okay, so why is pile number 2 separated, please? Okay, 9 of Swords. A lot of defensiveness. Somebody was really defensive in the relationship. Somebody didn't know how to let the other person get close. They were just emotionally distant at times. Even though I feel like you, or the other, it could be vice versa, the roles, were very much like caring and loving. This person was very defensive. And so I feel like more you're the one that was caring and loving, and they were just always had a fence up, very defensive, having things in their imagination, like maybe always accusing you of cheating, of not being truthful, of not being there, questioning why did you go to the store, what took you so long, really possessive, that kind of a thing. Ace of Cups. So they think of you with fondness, with great memories. You definitely, when they think about you, they have every emotion in the book, okay? They can feel hate, because hate is like the flip side to love, isn't it? And so they have anguish and they hunger for you, and they feel sadness and they feel satisfaction with you. They also felt fear when they were with you, and even thoughts about you bring fear to them because you are their emotional fulfillment. So they're all across the board. This person's really defensive. I don't know if they can even let anyone in close. Okay. What else do we need to know? Why is pile number 2 in separation, please? Why is pile number 2 in separation? Let's find out. The Emperor. I'm going to say that they were perhaps very dogmatic. They wanted things their way. They didn't want to look at anything else. Look at how defensive they are. And yet, this door is being broken open by zombies behind them. Like, these boards are not going to hold much longer. And that boy is in danger of getting grabbed by the zombies. And so he's trying his best to protect his family. He thought, or she thought, he was doing their best. They were doing their best protecting what was theirs, which is basically you. I'm not saying that you're a thing to be possessed at all, okay? I'm just saying this person acted really dogmatic and really possessive, and that was a huge problem in your relationship, okay? And really, in the end, they didn't know what was good for you. They thought they were protecting what was theirs, like a dog protecting its bone, but you're a person. You're a human being, and your needs were not met. And plus, they didn't let you in close. They treated you as an object of possession, and you didn't have any side of their vulnerable side. It was really hard. Why else? Thank you. I'm taking this because it's jumping. So, and that one. Why else are we in separation here? What about these cards? King of Wands. They want to there could have been another person involved. This could have been, or they could have thought, let's see what's going on. They wanted clarity. So maybe you had a friend who had a business. They were a mover and shaker, and they, your partner thought that you were involved with your friend, and this just wasn't true. They wanted clarity. They wanted to understand what this person is doing in the picture. Well, this person was a boss, let's just say, or a friend or something, but they blew it out of proportion and twisted it because their thinking was not right. Why else are we in separation here, please? Why are we in separation? For pile number 2. Let's find out. 7 of hazards. Yeah, somebody did the math. It could have been you, even though there were more, at times, like more analytical, perhaps. Somebody looked at the situation and thought, you know what, am I getting back what I'm putting in? Is it worth my time, my money, my energy, effort, blood, sweat, tears? Am I getting any joy out of it? This person just appears total. Well, they are dead. Hooked up to machinery, and this person's just really scientific, checking off all the marks. And I feel like in this scenario, dear pal 2, that you were the one that really suffered a lot, that you felt like, you know what, you were just kind of dead inside with them pushing you away, but wanting to control you and everything else. And then the accusation, why are you with so-and-so? Where were you? And what do you mean they're just friends? I don't believe you. Being all suspicious. You just kind of, by the end of it, felt like you could not take anymore. You were just a zombie. Yeah, that's not good at all. What does this person want to say to my pile number 2, please? Oh, good grief. This jumped out. Ace of emotion, yeah. So they want to, they really want to communicate. They want to give you their love, their emotion. They feel like they could not connect with anyone else, but they connect with you. You still hold a lot of emotional weight with them. When they think about you, it's like they can't even talk. They just feel like you are my person and I screwed it up. That's what they're feeling. Okay. What are the messages does the beloved in separation want to give to my pile number 2 viewers? Let's find out. Two of materials. So I'm juggling, constantly juggling between let me do this and that, 2 and 4. I can't quite figure things out. I'm just always like oscillating back and forth. But when it comes down to it, you are my person. I feel like I can make things grow with you. This is a 10 of material. I would love to have a family with you or bring our family back together, whatever the case may be. I feel like things only bloom when I'm with you, when we're close, when we are together, right? What else does this person want to say to my pile number 2? Let's find out. This one jumped out. 3 materials. It came out upside down, so I'm going to take it as such. So there is no, they're not thinking outside the box. They're not thinking creatively. They're not upgrading, and they think that you're not going to cooperate with them if they do approach you and talk to you, okay? But they have a lot of lustful ideas. This belongs to the sacral chakra, the color orange, and they just feel like as much as they want you and think about you, that you will not reciprocate. Good grief. And then I'm feeling like more this is you. You're like, but I'll take a chance. Like I will. So somebody, one of you two, wants to take a chance. You don't care how thin the chances are that this is going to work. You're willing to take that chance and cross that bridge when you come to it, right? Willing to just climb that ladder, ascend, and just do what you need to make the love work. Pile number 2. What else does this person want to tell? Pile number 2, please. Pile number 2. What I want to say to you, let's find out. 9 of materials. So it's like, I see that you're single. I see that you're self-sufficient. I see that you are blooming and doing super well. And that's so attractive and sexy of you. Except, like, when I look at you, I'm hypnotized by you. I can't take my eyes off of you. And yeah, I feel like I heard the word grief. And I feel a lot of grief when I do look at you. Like, how I mess things up. Just to be honest, pile number 2, I don't think that they've changed a ton. They've grown some, but I don't know if it's enough to make a difference. What else do they want to tell you? Let's find out. Queen of materials and justice. Look, here is fairness. Here is balance. And this is what they see you as, somebody who is completely self-sufficient, but also like a mover and a shaker, and just able to hold your own, that you're willing to be patient and to do things according to how you see fit, not anyone else. Again, the nod to sacred geometry with the pyramids on the side. They see you becoming a completely different person, almost like somebody they don't recognize. So much more self-assured, so much more grounded, so much more like led by your higher self than you ever were before, and that's really attractive. I want to find out. I'm going to use my juicy cards here, and so for those of you who don't like that part of the reading, you can click off now. But this is Twin Flame Hunger, okay? And so let's find out. Let's find out any messages for my pile number 2. Why is this person just... Well, what do they have to say to pile number 2? Let's find out. I'm holding grudges I need to release. So yeah, they haven't matured a lot. I'm resisting the surrender. They know that there has to be a radical change in order to come at you straight. You're not going to take being a possession, okay? You're not going to take the Inquisition anymore. Messages for my pile number 2, please. Let's find out. I'm trying to sustain myself. Okay. So they could be looking for other relationships to fill that hole, that gap that you left behind. Or even if they left you behind, I understand that. But nothing that they look around is fulfilling to them. What else do my pile number 2s have to say? This person, what does this person have to say, please? Guided union. They feel like you were divinely guided. They feel like you were heaven sent, and that this is meant to be. It's part of that entitlement. I would just be really careful with that, just to be real. What else do they have to say to my pile number 2? Let's find out. This connection needs a break. Oh my goodness. Well, you're in separation now, so yeah, you do need a break. What else do we need to know for pile number 2? Your divinity awakens me. What does your person want to say to you? I'm in a ruthless phase. They're not there yet. They're not there yet. I'm going to tell you that. That's the feeling I've been getting. And the final card from this deck is don't detach yourself from me. So why even bother if this is your eternal love? But the picture they've painted is they want it controlled. Okay. So, any last messages from this beloved for pile number 2, please? Let's find out. The Tower. Things are coming down. Really? This whole thing needs to come down for them to come back to earth. But their world is being shaken up. Maybe that's why they have you on their mind, especially. So what else for pile number 2? Why is this Tower here? Why is this Tower here? The Wheel of Fortune. This needs to come down. Their mindset, their attitude. If they're taking medication, they need to be on medication steadily and not go off and on again and do their own thing. If they're out partying and drugging, they need to end the drugging part or the partying part. It's going to be something radical like that. I don't feel like they're really involved with anyone. They can't be. They're just too erratic, and I don't know if that's going to be good for you. I'm just going to say no. Any other messages for pile number 2? Let's find out. Yeah, 10 of Swords. It's going to be a rough going. If this person contacts you, tries to come back right now anyways, it's going to be really tough for everyone involved. They need some healing to do. They need some growing up to do. They do definitely esteem you highly, but does that really matter in the grand scheme of things if they're not willing to put forth the effort? The fairness that you deserve, that you need, the equality in the relationship. I don't feel like you're going to think that much has changed since you were last together. And is that really fair? I personally don't think it's going to be a healthy thing. But if this reading resonated, please do give me a like, comment, share, subscribe. I'd love to know more about you. If you're pile number 2, put me a little emoji in there and tell me you're pile number 2. I'm just curious. Thank you much and namaste. Hi there, pile 3. So if you chose the Owl, incredibly beautiful card. The Owl, wise seeing, wise action. So there's a really big connection to the moon, to watching you. But I feel like it's not stalking, okay? I mean, that's arguably, depending on your perspective, it's definitely watching you, but I feel like a lot more love than stalking, just to see what you're up to type of thing. So let's find out what's going on with this connection, why you're in separation. So I'd like to know a little bit. I'm going to put this over here because while I was mixing cards, this one just flipped out for you. Queen of Emotions. Now this card is definitely talking about you have a psychic connection to this person. I feel like you can understand telepathically even what they're communicating to us. For some of you, not everybody. I think that you are definitely an empath. You could, of course, be telepathic because that's what I got earlier for you. You could have a very deep soul and a very creative mind. Okay, so the quintessential Queen of Cups is what this card would be. Connected to your emotions, connected to other people's emotions. The ability to understand how, in a deep manner, just not intellectually, yeah, I understand what you're saying. But I think that you are that person, okay, whether you're a man or a female. You're definitely that person that really understands emotion. So, what else do we have? Let me actually pull For the divine masculine that we're talking about here, the one that's in separation, even if it's same sex, I need a card representing the divine masculine that's in separation. Let's find out. The Magician. So the divine masculine is trying to, I feel like, manifest something with you. They're trying to bring into being what is on the forefront and on top of their mind. And, you know, I don't usually predict, oh, you're going to get back together or whatnot. But this divine masculine is definitely currently feeling that way or thinking that way. Okay, so let's find out what happened during this connection. I have the Chariot card flipped out. I'm going to put it back in the deck and see if it comes back out, and then we'll take it, okay? There's a possibility of travel, of movement within this connection, or they've been thinking about travel and movement with this connection, and you can feel it. So, pile number 3, if this is something that is resonating with you, consider it just validation. Okay. So what happened for pile number 3, the separation here? 8 of Cups. So somebody walked away. They put a lot of time, energy, money, blood, sweat, tears into the relationship. And for whatever reason, they felt like it was not making them happy any longer. And they had to move away from this connection. I feel like one of you was left kind of like this zombie lady here, emotionally just attached to the other person, unable to let go. Been there, done that. So no judgment there. But I feel like this is where one of you just could not get the other person out of their mind. Excuse me, so sorry. Didn't want to let them go. That kind of a thing. And it took a long time. I feel like it's for you to move on. Now, the story could be reversed. You take everything as it fits. Okay. What else do we need to know about this connection for pile number 3? That's in separation right now, please. Let's find out. Okay, King of Cups. There's a lot of emotion there. Potentially, I feel like their feelings were more important ultimately than the connection, which is possibly why this connection broke up to begin with. Okay, what's going on here with this connection and why did it fracture, please? Let's find out. The 10 of Hazards, okay, has to do with a family. So perhaps this person started a family or they were already partnered elsewhere. It had to do with the acquisition of money, of stability, maybe things that were expected from their own family lineage. Wow, that was interesting. So, I feel like perhaps they were expected to marry into a family or expected to live a certain way, and you did not fit that mold. Excuse me. And they chose to move on elsewhere. So let's see. And of course, the story can flip. It can be the other way around. So what else? Why is the 10 of Hazards here, please? And the 8 of Cups. Let's find out. 3 of Swords, so there was a betrayal here. I mean, anytime that anyone walks away from a connection, if it's not really a mutual thing, there's going to be a lot of pain involved. Oh, yeah, I still feel a lot of inability to let go, a lot of sadness. I think that you clung to this connection vibrationally. It took you a long time to get over it. I'm going to move the camera so you can see the cards better. Hopefully. Yeah, and if that's so, then I'm very sorry. I've been there as well. There could have been more than just 2 people connected to this relationship. But I also am getting that they understood your other person, this person that moved on, understood that you were literally eating your heart out, that it devastated you. One of you or both of you may have had an obsession or an addiction. This could be an obsession to each other. It could be an obsession or addiction to other things, such as wanting to please family or wanting to make choices that put them in a better financial position. Maybe they chose a partner that had more money than you or had a better education, thinking that it would make them take them further in life and that would make them happy. So far that's what I'm getting, regardless of the reason for them moving on and moving away. I definitely see that they're still kind of addicted to stalking. I did say stalking. I didn't think so before, but yeah, they're checking up on you. They still check up on you, not like, I don't know, all the time, just, oh, what are you doing all the time? But periodically they check up on you and it's like, oh yeah, he or she looks happy and I'm really glad, but it's with a little bit of a longing in their gaze. I'm just going to put it that way. This could have had, this person could have had an addiction to money, to drugs, sex, alcohol, anything like that. That could have also tipped the scales in order to make them choose a different path to walk, or maybe you broke it off. So I don't feel like you did that. I feel like they did. So what else do we need to know about this connection? What was the biggest problem here? Although I think we already see it. Let's find out. Okay. The Emperor. This person wanted to do things their own way. They have their own ideas. They wouldn't listen. Very dogmatic at times, or they could have felt like you were dogmatic. And then the King of Swords. You know, I kind of feel like it's this way. I feel like you were perceived as, this is how I want it, this is how things need to be. And I feel like the other person was really just really super sharp, really intellectual, and decided that they just wanted to cut out that energy from their life. Nobody's going to tell them what to do. Maybe you give them an ultimatum: you can't be drugging anymore, womanizing anymore, coming in at all hours of the night, allowing your ghosts from the past to really taint our relationship. I'm not having it. And this person just cut you off and walked away. Okay, so that's more what I'm feeling. I don't feel like they have that addiction any longer, by the way, if it was drugs or sex or anything else. I don't think they're controlled by that addiction any longer. Queen of Swords. So look, you're vibrationally even. Still a match. Still a match, and needing to get clarity. So you're saying, you know what, I'll cut everything out as well, but I still need clarity. I still need clarity on what transpired in the past. I need clarity on what happened, why it happened. That way I can move more towards my target. So this knife isn't even being wielded at the target necessarily. It's just in front of the target, indicating that, you know what, I need clarity before I can really hit my own bullseye and move on, perhaps. I do feel like you're you've taken on a lot of characteristics that are similar to your significant other, this other person that has moved on from your life. Interesting. Okay, so just want to move these closer. Oh gosh, okay, so we have the High Priestess, and I'm going to say that this is definitely you. This is your energy, and you're all about finding your personal power. Part of your personal power is letting go of ghosts from the past, of understanding what transpired in the past. We can't change it. We can't change who we were. We're constantly evolving, and you know that. But even if you had a little bit of dogma or rigid thinking on how things should go, I think that that as well has kind of ended. You become more flexible with life, with age, with learning. And right now you're in a position where you're just all about seeking your personal power, your balance. You could be single. You could have been single for quite some time. Not necessarily wanting to give over your personal power to another person. I feel like this relationship did impact you, critically, and you could be someone that enjoys your beer every now and then. Grandma's got her beer here at her feet, and yet she's got her little hoe heels. Why did I say it that way? She's got her hoe heels on right here, so she can like tie one up, or she could just totally chillax and be at home. But I feel like with this is just saying that you have really embodied a lot of qualities because of this partnership or relationship, situationship, that it did a lot of, you know, when we look at it, it's like, yeah, we were hurt, there was a lot of damage caused by it, but it really caused you to evolve in a way that you never would have otherwise. Now, at the top of your mind, you still think about this connection, you know, and you want to retain your personal power. I don't feel like it's like, oh, well, I necessarily want him back. I just want clarity on what transpired. So that's more what I'm feeling about you. Now, these things here came up, this here card came up. So I have the World, and it is actually reversed. And so the World is talking about endings and situations. The world's on fire. We don't care. We're in here in the bomb shelter, taking care of ourselves, elevating to a new game, changing with the times, whatever you want to call it. It came up reversed, so I'm just going to say that this cycle has not totally ended or burnt itself out. I think for one of you, and I think it's more for the other person that's onlooking. It's a number 21. When you add it, it is a number 3. Then I have the 3 of Cups here, and this is about reunions. This is about revisiting the good old times. This is about get-togethers. Maybe this person's going to call you. I feel like they have reunion. Did I say reunion? I did. On their minds. They really know that even though things transpired long ago, you really have a special place in their heart, and they're not able to let this connection go. And I feel like a lot of it has to do with they kind of sold out and gave in to what the world wanted of them, and now they can't necessarily put this connection to bed because they feel like, well, what if, you know? But it's a little too late, isn't it? So that's entirely up for you to decide. I feel like a lot of you guys are not going to want this connection, even if this person does come forward. Let's see, what else do we need to know about this connection? Thank you. Anything else about this connection? What else about this connection? Thank you. That's a ton of stuff. Ask and you shall receive, right? Okay. So we have Lovers. This person does not want to make a choice. So they're sitting in the middle of things knowing that they really have to make a choice. And it's a choice. Usually this is seen as a choice between two lovers, like an old love and a new love type thing. And that's what traditional meaning of it. But I feel like this is more about awakening or staying within their own current energy. This is like elevating. This is awakening to spirit and realizing that there's so many different dimensions in people and interconnectedness that exists, or staying stuck on the earthly plane and just looking at things with what's only tangible, your tangible eyes. Like, so they have the ability to go ahead and elevate their game and change, but I think that there is a resistance to that. Okay. I do feel like you were changed spiritually because of this connection, and I feel like they're fighting that change, by the way. The Ten of Voices is just feeling like everything is going wrong. So maybe they're in a point in life where they feel like, you know what, life didn't pan out the way I thought it would. I kicked my addictions, whatever the case may be. But things are still not making me happy. I'm still not content. I still think about what we had. And even though I feel like they're the ones that left, they feel betrayed somehow. Like something was done to them. Oh, you can't make this up. So Three of Voices. Yep, there you go. That's the Three of Swords once again. And excuse me, here's the door. And they're leaning up against this door, totally butt naked, but feeling like, you know what, even though that is the door, I can't get through the door, beyond the door. I don't have a key to the door. I don't even freaking see the door. So they're not able to see beyond their own feelings right now. They're caved in within themselves, which is why they look at you with fondness periodically. I don't feel like there's anything malicious there. I just feel, and I could be wrong, but I feel like some of you guys are going to think, you know what, you haven't aged well, or I feel like you're too old for me now, or I have outgrown you. Something about being old, like you're too old, you're older, or you act like old. I don't know. And you're not going to even really want to entertain this. There'll still be a sweetness and a memory of like love there, but I think you're over it. This person is not over it. I've got the Six of Materials, and when I set this down a second ago, it actually spun. So I feel like this person can still be giving to one or more connections. You know, you're in separation, so I don't think you've heard from this person yet. You might, they think about, you know, reaching out, then they don't, then they do, then they don't. But I think that you're not the only one that they reminisce over. And so I'd be really careful with that energy. I mean, if they're not looking at you after all this time and thinking, okay, well, I want to make it straight, then what's the point, right? If they're still considering that you're an option rather than a choice, then that's not really an option. I don't know. You're free to make your own choices. That's just kind of how I see things. So let's go ahead and get this deck. I'm going to get my little saucy deck, I guess what I call it. I don't know why I call it that. But it's this deck. So if you don't like kind of like raw messages, then it's time for us to part ways. Maybe you might want to click off, because I don't want to offend anyone. For the rest of you that are still with me, and by the way, if you like this reading, please do give me a like, share, comment, subscribe. And if you can leave me an owl emoji if you were part of pile number 3. I'm definitely interested. So with that, let's find out what your beloved, what your other person, this person that's in separation, wants to tell you. Let's find out. They want to say my energy is being drained. Okay. Let's find out more about this. What about this? What else does this person want to say? Guided union. This is a guided union. I feel like they're up late at night, just sort of thinking about what they chose and what could have been and things like that. And they have nothing but like beautiful memories about you. And it still wears on them. What else do we need to know? Let's find out. Stake to the heart. So they feel like they have made a mistake. What else do we need to know here? What does this partner want to communicate to pile number 3? I don't like to be limited. This is having to make a choice. I feel like they, growing up, were maybe a little bit entitled. They got a lot of what they wanted, or what they received came with like minimal effort. I don't feel like, I just feel like they're kind of a little bit of a taker. Not a bad person, but just by nature. They take things for granted. They take people for granted. A sense of entitlement. Okay, what do we need to know? What is this person wanting to communicate? What do they want to say? Okay. Emotional telepathy. Didn't we not just open with this? I pick up on what you're feeling. So they're really connected to you. Telepathically, there is that connection. And I want you to trust me. Well, I'll bet you do. I'll bet you do, but that has to be earned. So telepathically take that, right? What else do we need to know about pile number 2, please? Spirit is protecting you from me. And last message. Final message, the most important message, please. I'm holding grudges I need to release. That's interesting. does almost feel like something was done to them. That's how they're feeling, even though they're the one that messed up, I feel intuitively. And so especially like this card is bringing up this, it's like, I don't know how to get out of it. Things shouldn't be this difficult. But I feel like a lot of it has to do with, you know, they've not been held accountable, or they've lived some kind of a privileged life. And so they just expect everything to come easily. And, you know, life isn't really like that, especially relationships. And so they could be feeling frustrated that things are just not coming easy or handed over to them quite easily. And that's a feeling for what they're having in their pain, but they just haven't, they are folded within themselves. They need to like look up and look at other people and consider the damage that their own hands have caused. So that's what I have for you. If you resonate with me, again, do please give me a like, thumbs up, comment, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And we will see you on the next reading. Namaste. Hi friends, this is for those of you that chose pile number 4, and that would be the Death card. I did tell you not to be afraid of that, because this is always about transformation, about transmuting that energy, usually elevating. Okay, so this death, the eternal cycle begins here, right? And so we have obviously the skull and the moth. That's just a major transformation. So what I'm getting intuitively off of this card is a lot of you guys have come from a life where you don't even recognize things anymore the way they used to be, as opposed to who you are today. And so we're going to examine why your relationship now is in separation. You don't recognize like anything about it. You're so far from the person that you were once you were in this connection. And this connection also has obviously died out thus far because you're in separation. But also, I feel like it's transforming into something completely different. So we're going to find out more about this. All right, energy does not die. So let's find out, why has there been a separation for my pile number 4s? Pile number 4. Let's find out. Okay, so the 9 of Cups. This was a wish fulfillment once upon a time. As you can see, this lady is dressed with a, she's quite cozy really. She's dressed in a blue blanket, but she's thinking about the beach. She mentally is just not there. She is placed herself out of the equation and thinking about and dreaming about and fantasizing about what she wants and what she wishes. So let's find out. Okay, what else is going on here? 9 of Cups. So show me the connection for pile number 4. Why did this connection die out, please? Okay. Okay, on and off. There were fights on and off with you guys. A lot of internal fighting on and off. I just got this 4 of Hazard, and usually this is about stuffing your feelings and emotions, not wanting to hear. And this person has stockpiled. They're not really willing to see what's going on in the world. So maybe one of you, I feel, actually, you know what, it just goes back and forth because it keeps spinning around. One of you didn't want to understand or see that this connection was ending. So I'm not sure who this is just yet. I'm going to put this here sideways. I feel like it wasn't, your connection wasn't matching up to what the person was dreaming about. Like reality didn't match up with what you wanted. So let's see. Why is this connection fractured and broken? Page of Cups and 8 of Wands. There are a lot of messages back and forth. There could have been a child involved. This person could have been caught messaging other people. I heard on your timeline. I don't know what that means to you. They could have been caught messaging other people. Messages going back and forth really quickly. Messages of just a childish nature. But I feel like this is more you. You didn't want to hear and understand that. You don't want to see your partner like messaging anyone else. So why is it, or even having another kid with someone else, they could have just gone off, like this person's dreamed about the beach and this child is on the beach. And so maybe you had a child with somebody else, or they had a child with somebody else, and that's difficult to take. Maybe they got someone pregnant while they were with you and they had a child. So why was this connection fractured? For pile number 4, clear messages, please. Let's find out. There was a need for clarity. That may have been really sharp words. Fast acting, fast action. I feel like I also got the Hangman here. So you were left in limbo. You didn't even know what was going on, what was happening. I feel like they were, for some of you, two-timing it. Going out with somebody else, being romantic, sending other people messages of love that really wasn't appropriate for what was going on in your relationship. 5 of Cups came up reversed. I feel like they weren't even remorseful about it. So I feel like they were just, there's a lot of 5s here, a lot of I call it frenetic energy, a lot of static in your relationship and stagnancy as well. And I think that you were dreaming for something better for yourself. I think that you really kind of separated yourself emotionally. You're thinking back then, well, is this for my highest good? Is this what I wanted? Is this really what life has in store for me? And can I accept this scenario for what it was for the rest of my life? Is that really my wish, my happiness, my fulfillment? And here, the 9 of Hazards. You decided, I feel like more than they did, that you wanted to go by yourself, that this situation wasn't good for you, that you decided that, you know what, if they're giving attention to other people, if they're juggling more than just, I don't know, groceries. I don't know why they come up. If they're really juggling another person than you, or multiple people, that just was not for you. That wasn't going to make you happy, and you knew that. So you decided to remain single. You weren't going to go with this narrative. And so they could have left you, but they could have left you knowing that you weren't going to accept them for what it was, and they were not willing to stop. So what else happened in this connection for pile number 4, please? Thank you. 7 of Hazards. So you weighed the pros and cons. You thought about it. You looked at everything. And you decided, you know what, that's just not what I want for my life. I'm not getting even a fraction of what I'm putting into it, of the blood, the sweat, the tears, the energy, the emotion. And all of that was being fed into the relationship, and the relationship, the other party was feeding somebody else. It's awful. It's just awful. What else do we need to know about this connection? That is over, or has ended, or is in separation. Queen of Cups and the Knight of Wands. So this person was going after what they desired, kind of like squirrel. Oh, squirrel, you know, just every time on the move. Their brain's always thinking, and yet your intuition told you things were off, things were not right, and you were not going to go with that scenario. I feel like you obviously have a queenly energy here. You just had a maturity even back then, and this person was just running after the emotion of the moment, okay, is what I'm getting. What else do we need to know about this connection for pile number 4, please? You could have a connection to moths, to butterflies, but I feel like more moths. Whenever you are in the house, you could be seeing moths, or the little worms, the little moth worms, whatever you call them, caterpillars. Are they still caterpillars if they're moths? I don't know. 3 of Hazards, so there was more than just you involved in the scenario, and you knew it. And I feel like this person tried to normalize things, kind of like, oh, it's not a big deal, they're just friends, or what's a big deal, we just talk, I come home to you every night. Or they could have been saying, you know what, I want an open relationship, open marriage, and this is how I am, and we're too good together, don't mess it up, simply because I want to have fun somewhere else once in a while. So I don't know what your scenario was, but I feel like they try to make this normal. They tried to put, you know, dead things on your plate and make it appear like it was edible and normal, okay? and you were just not having it. You wanted the quintessential, you know, family. You wanted something more traditional. This person, I feel like they just really were kind of full of themselves. They like to dress well. They might wear glasses, might be really intellectual, might be a super business person, like really well in the business world. But I feel like there's an air of immaturity about them. Okay, I don't necessarily feel like you're wanting this connection to return. But let's find out any other messages. Okay, well, somebody's manifesting here, so we're going to find out. This just flew out. Somebody's wanting this connection back. Well, you know, who is wanting this connection? Why is this magician here? Let's start there. Why is the magician here? Let's find out. The Chariot. Yeah, there's movement. I want movement. I want to move closer to you. I want to bring all of my energy, all of my horses. I heard all of my bitches. Okay. I don't know why I heard that. But I want to bring everything to you, like all of my energy. And let's get more information. Because the horse represents freedom. And in this case, they're headed to you. But I feel like there's still a multitude. Like they still want you to accept things for how they are. And I feel like this is just perfect the way it is. Like you are more the moth, you're in transformation, and they're still within this stagnant energy. You've elevated spiritually, you have grown. You are the queen of emotions. The Queen of Cups is coming out twice. You could be psychic, you could be tarot reader yourself. You could be someone that understands the depth of other people's emotions because you're an empath as well. I feel like for some of you, you're clairaudient, but look at the telepathic connection here. That's what I'm getting with this card as well. The Six of Voices. So you have moved on and you honor. I feel like you honor like what was in the past. I love this card so much. And you're willing to kind of let go. You're still peeking at maybe what could have been. Is there a way that we can bridge this gap and come together in a way that is emotionally fulfilling, in a way that really helps my solar plexus still feel balanced and not taken over by another person, which is my willpower, my desire, the things that I want. So are you going to honor the things that I want, which is like, you know, a family, which is faithfulness, which is honoring me as a person? Or are you going to continue? Are you still in the energy of doing whatever it is that you want with every Tom, Dick, and Harry? And so 7 of emotions, these are options. Are you going to honor me, or are you going to go ahead and treat me as an option still? And so I think that if they come at you with the energy of, you know, you're an option, then you're out again. You're not going to have it. What else do we need to know about this connection? About this connection, please. All right, so the 4 of Inspiration. I feel like they are on pause, on hold. They know that even though they want to come at you hard and fast, they have to tighten up their game. They have to straighten up. They have to come at you in a manner that is going to leave a really good offering on the table. In other words, they can't have a lot of hangups that they did in the past. You're not going to have it. Yeah, and the Fool came up reversed, meaning that they know that you're not going to take anything less than you deserve, that you're going to honor your inner worth, your self-esteem, and your higher self a lot more than an earthly connection that just treats you once again as a choice. I mean, look at this lady. It's like, ooh, which one do I choose? There's so many of the fish, so many of the fish in the sea. They could be on plenty of fish, you know, still dating, looking around, but still looking at you. And they're waiting. They're waiting to kind of see if there is a break in your aura about how you conduct yourself, if you seem like you want to be more in play mode or something like that. And I don't think that's going to happen, by the way. I think it's wishful thinking. Because if you were more in play mode, then they would definitely come more towards you, okay? This is like, I keep hearing bring my bitches. I don't even know where that's coming from. But I think this person doesn't have a lot of respect for you. And I'm sorry, I don't like it. I just don't like it. What else do we need to know about this connection, please? They're waiting, and yeah, they're definitely keeping an eye on you, wanting to read your vibe. That's why they check in with you, is they're wanting to see, you know, a lot of mental energy being sent your waves, sound waves, I heard. They could be listening to music that makes them think of you. This person is dancing down here, but also I feel like they're just waiting for the right time to approach you. But while you're in the serious mode, while you're in your personal empowerment, they know that their energy is really dead to you, and it's just not going to be conducive. What they want is a conducive energy. They want a real emotional connection. They want to feel the way they once felt with you. But what they don't understand is, in order for that to happen, they really have to ignore all the other fish in the sea, okay? You're not an option. You're not an option, you're the choice. I don't know why people have to think the way they do, but who am I? Okay, so we're going to find out some messages from my saucy deck, and for those of you that don't like that kind of read, it's time for you to click off right now. I want to thank you so much for joining me. If you do like this type of reading, please do give me a like, share, comment, subscribe to help my little channel grow. I'd much appreciate it. Moving on, we're going to find out what this person has to say. What does this person have to say for pile number 4? Let's find out. So I'm taking this. Don't force me to love you. I'll run. So they want to manifest you and use you in any way that they see fit, but they don't want a commitment. I'm resisting the surrender. Yeah. They're just really focused on an earthly connection, and many of them, not just one. They want their freedom and you. Holding on to an old flame. So yeah, they're still holding on to you. But in my mind, who cares if you're not gonna, number 1, act on it, and number 2, act in a way that's gonna make you stay in my life and don't come near me. Keep it moving. What else does this person want to say, please, to pile number 4? Recovering. Okay, so you're recovering. So they're taking that time out, recovering, but I don't feel like there's a lot of introspection. What else do we need to know? What is this person trying to tell their pile number 4? What is beloved trying to tell pile number 4? I'm compelling you to give in to me. They want to still kind of manipulate the situation. And that's why I feel like there's that waiting. Time is waiting to get you where you're vulnerable. I hold myself accountable for my own actions. I don't feel like that is even true, not even close. A tempting offer. So this person wants to give you a tempting offer. But the problem is that when they receive a tempting offer, they can't say no. And so there's no trust. They look sincere, they look hot, they look like they're intent on you, but when it comes down to it, there is no staying power. They're on the run. Squirrel. Chasing the next good thing. Okay, what else do they want to say? This one fell upside down. It says, satisfy my thirst. I need more, but it came up reversed. I feel like this is even a message saying from their higher self, don't give in to me. Like, my thirst is everything that I want. I want to overindulge, and I want you to give in to me. But I feel like their higher self is saying, you keep resisting and don't give in to me. Because in the end, I don't respect people who give in to me. And that's not really ultimately what I want or need. Like, their soul recognizes there's a higher purpose in your connection, and yet they're not behaving like it. They're not listening to it. They're out of touch with their spirituality. I'm just going to say that. Okay. Erotic spiritual pleasures. Yeah, they're interested in that, but not being spiritual at all. Not funny, but kind of funny. Yeah, look, okay, I'm gonna leave you with this. It's a buffet, feeding off multiple lovers. Did we not just talk about this? So this person is still disloyal. They're like, oh, you want to be spiritual? We can be spiritual. Can we have like astral sex or, you know, I mean, anything like that? They're just focused on the earthly pleasures, and I don't think that's gonna fly with you. Okay, one last question. One last comment from Beloved. Craving you, body, mind, and soul. I mean, they want to really consume you. So if that's your thing, that's great. But I feel like that's just not going to fly for most of you. They are here with multiple partners, looking at multiple offers. In the end, they just want to sample the whole banquet. And, you know, that's fine if that's your thing. But for most of us, that's just not. Especially people that come to my channel, all three of you, this isn't going to really fly for you. So you know that you've been in separation and you wanted to know why, or you know what's going to happen with that. This person is still on the prowl doing their shenanigans out there. So I would not put a lot of merit or time or effort into them, but I think you know that because you, my beautiful queen, are the queen of emotions. You know that deep down inside, but you just wanted to confirm, and there's confirmation. So with that, I will leave you. Much love to you, and until next time, namaste.